This is your captain speaking, and also the oil stream. I'm YouTube Trev. We've got an hour-long show, and all signs pointing towards a smooth ride. This is also my co-pilot, Gager. Say hi.
Hi.
I've been waiting an hour to say that.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. I like that. You kept me in the dark
speaking
there, too. I didn't know you were going to go full...
Isn't that cool?
What's the guy's name? Shoot.
This is your captain speaking.
No, what's the show where the captain with Tom Hanks? What's it called? Larry?
Oh, no.
What's his name? Hernan.
When he
lands in the Hudson.
Yeah.
Sully.
Sully.
Oh,
Yeah. This is
You're
your captain.
Sully.
Yeah, thank you. I am Sully. I was just on a plane to Toronto.
Oh, right.
Back. I will say, there is nothing more... I should have been a pilot, man. I should have been a pilot. You know the aura? Like when a pilot's walking in an airport, they got their suitcase, their luggage, whatever. And like everyone kind of just is in awe, you know?
You just get one of those outfits like Leo in Catch Me If You Can.
I should go to an airport, wear the suit.
Did you read that thing? There was a guy that flew over 900 hours.
Yeah, that was broken yesterday for Air Canada.
He's been doing it for decades.
For a fake license. That's crazy.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah, no, I thought that would be funny. You could totally do it too. Like if you just show up to an airport, wear the whole get up. And just people come up to you, you're a pilot. Yes, I am. I am a pilot. I was thinking that's probably got to be like, what job? And this is a question for the Nasties. This is also the oil stream. We'll get to all the liners in a second, but I feel like that's got to be one of the number one jobs. Like to say you're a pilot, like that's got a lot of stock. And people really are like, oh. Like, that's what I thought. When I saw a pilot at the airport, man, I'm like, damn, that's impressive. I thanked the pilot on the way out. I said, thank you. It was very, very bumpy.
I have a few people that I know became pilots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my good buds is, he's, I think 1 year left, but he's a pilot. When I first moved here, when I first started at EST, actually, he flew me around the city. And my first flight ever where I was just like, this is cool. I've always been very nervous what the pilots are doing, and but it was great. I just was went to Toronto. I met Noodles.
Oh yes, he's great, cool. Huh?
Oh yeah, man. I will say, like, we had him on the Nielsen show today, 6 to 9, right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, and the way Dusty teed it up was pretty funny. But man, when Noodles, it's crazy, like where life takes you. But 4 years ago, I mean, like my whole life, at least for the last 10 years, I knew who this guy was.
Yeah. And
then all of a sudden he's like, yeah, I met Trev. It was pretty funny because when I went up, I was like, that's Jamie McLennan. I'm like, I think it is. Cause then he also said today, he's like, when I go to the airport, I wear very baggy clothes. Yeah. I look like a homeless guy, he said. And that's what I was like, I don't know, man. Like, I was hesitant to go up there, but I'm like, no, I think that's Jamie McLennan. So I go up, I'm walking to him. All of a sudden he brings out, it turns out it was a chocolate chip muffin, is what he said. Yeah. So then I'm like halfway there, I'm like, so I turned around, complete 180. I'm like, oh gosh, that's embarrassing. And he saw me. He's like, this guy's walking up to me.
That's why he went for the muffin.
Probably. And then I turn around and then so he finishes the muffin. So I'm like, okay, here it is. I'm talking to my aunt and uncle. I'm like, no, here it is, guys. Wish me luck. I'm walking to him. I'm like, hey. And he's like, hey, honey, how's it going? He just started FaceTiming his
fake called his wife.
He said he was actually, he might have faked it. And so I was like mid-sentence, and then he looks at me. I'm like, damn it. I'm like, this is embarrassing. So then I turn around again, and then he's like, hey, no, you, what's up? How's it going? And I'm like, oh, okay, perfect. I'm like, sorry, man. Did not mean to interrupt. But I'm Trev. I actually send you the link every Wednesday to join the Nielsen show at Edmonton Sports Talk. And he's like, oh my God. He's like, I thought I recognized you over there. You were kind of looking at me.
Were you giving him your creepy look? If there's one guy that you could go up to though and just say hello to, it's Jamie. Like he is the salt of the earth and one of the funniest men on the planet. Like if you ever watch Overdrive and stuff, and Struddy's along the same mold. Like they're very funny guys on TV and stuff, but you get them in the wild, you will be belly laughing like hysterically. I bet, because they're so funny. Yeah, he's great, man. I love Noodles. All my interactions with him, played against him. Yeah, he's great. He does a great job. He's a hustler, though.
Oh, he is a hustler, man. And it was pretty cool too. So I talked to him for, just quickly wrapping up here, talked to him for maybe a minute, and I was like, anyway, man, I'm going to let you be. You probably get this a lot. He's like, no. Like, what are you doing in Toronto, man? I'm like, really? Yeah. I went to my first Jays game, did this, went with grandma, went to CN Tower, all this. And he kept asking me questions. I was like, that was really cool. He took the time to speak with me.
Oh yeah. So, that's great, man.
Pretty unreal stuff. But, I just wanted to catch up and, highlight that. That was pretty cool. This is the Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Buy one medium or large pizza and get the second 50% off. I believe that's for takeout. And if you do that, I will recommend. It's my favorite pizza right now. It's relatively new. I think it's been out for a year on their menu. The buffalo chicken pizza.
Oh,
it's become a routine of mine. Once a month, I'll get it just for myself on a Friday.
Sauce, the buffalo chicken.
Dude,
yeah,
this pizza is legit. It is. I'm not even joking, listeners, nasties. Go and get this pizza, and if you do that, you can get a second one 50% off. So pretty sweet there. It's also Wing Wednesday. And I love going there for Wing Wednesday. Thai chili is my go-to. All meat. Do you like all meat?
Nuggets? No.
Yeah.
If I go for wings, I go for wings.
Yeah.
I go for nuggets or chicken strips, I'll go for chicken strips. Okay, fair. You guys are complete psychopaths. I won't lie, they're good.
They are good.
They are good. They're big, though. I remember it might have been your plate I was stealing a couple off of a few months ago.
Yeah.
And they were, I was like, geez, those are huge.
Yeah, they are.
Are you sure they're nuggets?
They are good. I always get the all meat Thai chili and then the oven medium. So I like mixing it up.
Well, you would know being slinging pizzas. Did you ever make pizzas back there?
No.
Oh, but did you ever go make one?
No.
Oh,
I was like, it was very unique. I didn't, usually you have to work your way up to serve and bartend.
Yeah.
I didn't at all. I don't know.
Went straight in?
I just went straight in. I was like, hey, I'd like to serve. They're like, hey, sounds good. And then sink or swim kind of thing. I remember my first, I wanted to quit. It's just the worst thing ever.
Really?
I had people and I was such, man, it's crazy how much you change. Because first day in industry, just, youngin', I was 17, like grown, ass men are just yelling at me.
Yeah.
And like, I left, I'm like, this sucks. I'm like, so it wasn't even that stuff. Like, I really just was not good.
Yeah.
And I just took it to heart, man. I'm like, you're not made for this, man. You're not built for this. But then, I ended up being a decent bartender. And it all started at Boston Pizza. That's where I got the gig here at ESC. Met Dusty, which was...
Yeah, that's without Boston Pizza, you wouldn't be here.
Yeah, man. I thank Boston Pizza a lot. Like, honestly, I don't know where I'd be.
Dusty didn't like those Thai chicken bites.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't be here.
Yeah, honestly. I was serving them extras that night. Because he asked for singles.
Oh, did you? Did you?
Maybe a little bit more.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right on. You been good?
Yeah, man. It was... It's my son is he's looking to eventually change professions.
Okay.
But he's going to go to NAIT and do the MFR course, ITLS, so medical first responder.
Good for him.
And see how that goes. But I was at it's good that I have a background in financial planning and stuff like that, because RESPs, I don't know why they make them so difficult and awful to deal with. But it was funny because I go in there and I've got all the paperwork at the bank and all these things and stuff, because there was a portion that I had at a certain institution, and the girl comes out and I'm going, okay, well, we need this and this, but I have to make sure, and I'm going through everything. She goes, you really know a lot about this. And I go, yeah, I just kind of looked it up. So this is really helpful. No one really brings all this stuff. And
nice.
So, that's good. But just to it'll cover it, right? So,
yeah, for sure.
But that was a bit of my morning.
Nice. Okay, so you did that today. That's one thing they need to change in the curriculum. As soon as you graduate, here you are. Here's RSPs.
Oh God, they're awful.
Yeah, all of a sudden you just like, for me, I guess I can speak for myself, but I feel like a lot of people, my friends, are kind of Hey, what's this? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, the paperwork to get back, the setting it up properly for families too, that's always a bit of a hassle. And if I could recommend one thing, always keep them at the same institution, even if you change advisors or whoever manages it, because you lose the institutions usually don't do a great job of record tracking with the grants and the money that's contributed from the government, because then it's a whole another battle to try to get that stuff. So yeah, that's what I do, buddy.
Joaquin Gage, a man of many traits. That's great stuff there, Gager. We are also in the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio, brought to you by the new value menu at Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen, featuring 5-piece nuggets, fried pickles, mini chicken wrap, mini chicken sandwich, and blackened cauliflower, all for $4 plus tax. These are perfect snackable items that can round out your favorite Popeyes meal. How's it going, Nasty's little fun intro there. Just wanted to catch up with Gager. It's been a minute. We kind of, as soon as I'm leaving, you're usually coming in, so we don't speak too much. But no shortage of things to discuss today. I'll lay out the show right now. And like I said, this is the Oil Stream, presented by Play Alberta and Boston Pizza as well. I want to look at the pros and cons of hiring Mike Babcock. All signs are pointing towards this being the guy, if obviously everything follows through with NHLPA and more things that kind of surfaced this morning per Frank Seravalli, which I will get to as well. But I want to look at the pros. I want to look at the cons, but I kind of want to, there's been a lot of negative, which is fair.
I think it's fair.
Why are people talking about the negative stuff? But for once, I feel like I'm in the minority here. Last 2 years, I've been just ripping this team, and I actually don't mind this. I'm actually all for it. If they want Mike Babcock, I've got a few pros that I was able to list out here, and I've got more pros than cons, believe it.
Wow, that's amazing coming from you, Mr. Positivity.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Brightside.
Wow. I mean, I don't know, man. I it's a dark cloud to me. Yeah. I think this is a horrible idea. Okay. You have a guy that abused his authority.
He did.
I don't think that people like that should get another chance after they already had the chance. Yeah, it's the same MO. I know, maybe he changes, but are you willing to gamble that much? Just go to the River Cree if you want to gamble. Go do it there.
See a few OEG guys there.
Yeah, but don't do it with the hockey team. I don't know. You know what amazes me most about Babcock too is the fact that he would subject himself to reopen all these old wounds and things and have the spotlight on him. To me, he's got to be a maniac.
Yeah.
When he said that I love retirement, he goes, I'm thinking, because what I heard, he's got a nice place out in PA on a nice lake and stuff, just a mansion or whatever it is. And he's going, I don't have to deal with it. No one bugs me anymore. I could see that's kind of appealing at this point. But now he's going to open all that up into a Canadian market again? Geez.
Yeah. Very stubborn. Stubborn old man is what I'm getting.
Or a psychopath, I don't know. But tell me why you like it, Trev.
If you want, let's go right into the pros. And I've got some cons. Obviously, nasties. Feel free to chime in the nasty chat. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the Oil Stream, if you're new to EST in general. But we read some texts as well. But keep them coming, and let's see if we can get this bad boy to 100 likes as well. Okay, pros. Pro number 1. He has championship pedigree and triple gold. Do you know he's the only coach in NHL history to be in the triple gold? So that's winning the Stanley Cup, that's winning gold at the Olympics, and also again the championship at the World Hockey Championships, which he did in 2015. And I know a lot of people, Trev, well, look at the teams. But I don't think that's fair, because John Cooper had a hell of a team this year. Mm-hmm. He didn't win. And I don't know. I just think it's not an easy thing. Oh, he had good teams. So what? John Cooper's case, you're just going to disregard everything. He's had great teams. He's won some cups. So just because he had a good team, I just think that's not a fair argument. I think he definitely was a big part of the piece to ultimately win those championships. And it discredits what John Cooper, like, because obviously then I can turn it around and be like, well, what about John Cooper? You know, because, but it was the team, Trev, it was the team. Okay, well, what about the Tampa Bay Lightning? They've won a few cups. So you just think that it was the team, John Cooper had nothing to do with that? So that's my rebuttal there.
Yeah, I mean, as a coach, you have to, like, the best coaches that I've always had were good communicators. There was a air of like superiority, but that's what you know, they're the captain of the ship, right? They're plotting the course and trying to take you to the promised land. So, but it's the guys that row the boat to me. Yeah. And there's a way to do it properly. You'd have to say Babcock's a little bit of a dinosaur in that respect. He's done this one way his whole career. And to change now, and it's different for other people too. Like he's not going to treat Connor McDavid or Leon Draisaitl like he's going to treat them differently than someone else on the team. Like maybe even a Savoy or one of the young guys coming in. Who knows, right? Szymanski all of a sudden. Yeah, it's just There's a lot of really good coaches out there. It just seems like snap judgments. I know the management says we don't want to make any knee-jerk reactions. Every decision that seems like they've done since they've lost in the first round has been a knee-jerk reaction. Even if you go back to the Jari trade, it seemed like nothing was going on, and then all of a sudden, boom! All of a sudden, you heard about it. Like it. Yeah, I think sometimes patience and waiting is more valuable as a management staff than trying to get something done right away, right?
Yeah. No, well, that's well said, Gager. And another thing, he's a very touted coach. Like I just remember when Toronto got him, acquired him, signed him, whatever you want to call it.
It was huge.
It was huge. It was massive, man. Like this was and I've said this on the Nielsen show, but this was my generation's Scotty Bowman. Mm-hmm. Like he was, and maybe it was because I was in Lethbridge. Obviously he coached the U of L hockey team there. They won championship. And so it was always like, oh, Mike Babcock, he is like, that was growing up. Who was the best coach? It was always Mike Babcock. Mm-hmm. It was always, I remember I want to bring the cup back to Canada, and they get Austin Matthews. Everything's looking so good. And I remember, the Oilers, diehard fan at the time, still pretty big fan. And I'm like, the Oilers got Todd McClellan, but I was just like, wow, like the Maple Leafs, like they just did something right there. Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of people, Trev, how did that work out for him in Toronto? And you're seeing a lot of that discussion. I mean, how many? There's 32 teams. Only one team wins the cup. Yeah. You could argue he had a young team. He had a young Matthews. The pressure. How are those players going to play in a Canadian market? As we've seen, Mitch Marner, he escapes and he's
flourishing now.
He is just looking unreal. So, how did that work out in Toronto? Would you be asking that same question about Pete DeBoer for the Dallas Stars? Yeah. Like, how did that work? He's still a good coach. He doesn't have the baggage, but it's just the baggage that comes with it. And that's what people are really not liking. And the unethical approach that he has, which is extremely unethical. And I definitely think he needs to not do that. But when it comes to being a coach, I still think that this guy is a good coach, despite being an a-hole. I think, and which brings us to this next thing. Player leadership buy-in, and I know a lot of people are saying, like leadership signed off. And why is leadership even signing off on it? I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Like, I feel like I don't think they should make the ultimate decision. But if I'm a player for a team, and especially a significant part of that team, I'd like to be in the loop of things, and I'd like to think that I have somewhat of a say.
It doesn't really work that way, though.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good way to. I've said this before, I think, but I've had coaches ask me about certain players that I might have played with before, right? And that I've known. I go, hey, what do you think of this guy? Do you think he would be a good fit in our dressing room, right?
Yeah.
So that's the length of it. You've had this coach before. What was he like? Oh yeah, he was tough, but he did a good job. That's the extent. Like I think I hate to harp on Ken Holland. Ken Holland always used to say that too. He said, yeah, I use my players. If I have a question about a certain person that I don't really know about, I'll ask them. That's where he left it. Bowman did say they're not part of the process of selecting a coach, but doesn't seem like they're part of the process of selecting a coach if they're meeting with him before. And will this be okay? Like that seems like a decision to me. And I don't think that's conducive to having a successful team when you have to make the decisions right away. I've said it. It's like when Hernan makes his picks for the screw it, let's do it parlay. Like he starts out really positive and good about it, but then he's like, hey, is that okay? Can I do that? And I'm like, no, just go with it, man.
Yeah, go with it.
You got to make the decisions yourself. You can't. And I'm sorry, but this is a bad decision.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that like it's almost sounding like this was their guy to begin with. Right? Like this was their part of their due diligence. You can't tell me if the Vegas Golden Knights allowed Cassidy to talk to the Edmonton Oilers that they wouldn't have a Cassidy jersey on him presenting him at the Hall of Fame room like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not the only one. I said yesterday, I thought this is, I don't even think this is a management thing. I think this is coming down from the tippy top. And he wants Babcock, he wants the name and he's like us that kind of grew up thinking, oh, this guy is unreal. Like I remember Babcock when he coached with hearing rumors with him with Spokane, and I heard he was a tyrant.
Yeah.
Whatever. He got to the Memorial Cup, I think, the one year. He might have won it. Or maybe he just went. Anyways, all signs were like, this guy's going to be in the NHL in no time at all. He spent another couple years in Spokane, then went to, I believe it was Cincinnati or Baltimore, somewhere in the American League, and then has success with the Ducks.
Yeah. It's definitely interesting. And I do see both sides. Like obviously, I'm for it. I totally am. But the people that are against it, I hear you.
What about remember when Knobloch benched Draisaitl for 3 shifts?
Yeah.
And he needed his diaper changed.
Yeah.
Like he was all upset afterwards. Like I think Knobloch came in and gave him the Game Star Award, and he was all
right.
Yeah. What do you think he's going to do if Babcock does that?
Well, see, and that's actually, I'm happy you brought that up, because that brings me to the next pro, and I have it as a pro: structure and defensive accountability, and mainly just that last word, accountability. Which how many times was that thrown around this year covering the Oilers? Like it was thrown around a lot. The Oilers, they at times, like that's what the fans, definitely the nasties, were. You got to hold these players accountable for some of their mistakes, and I think they're at that point, man. I really do, because you keep on doing this stuff over and over and over again, you can get away with it. Mm-hmm. Well, if you finally, if Connor, Leon, and it's not just Bouchard, Connor and Leon are pretty known, and you watch it almost on any given night. They give the puck away quite a bit. They also have the puck a lot, but it's not even, it's just dumb mistakes. It's just, they question it. And when they started turning things around in March a little bit, like we were they talked about it. Like if we question a play, we don't, if we're not 100% sure on a play, we don't do it. We kind of we dial it back. And so I think that's going to be huge. And that's something that I don't think Jay Woodcroft did. I don't think any coach, for the most part, you could maybe throw McClellan in there and Tippett as the most stern coaches for holding their players accountable, but I wouldn't compare to Mike Babcock. And I think, you look at the high scoring games in the playoffs for the Oilers this year. Would that change? Would that finally get Connor and Leon to, quit making those plays to get them to play good defensively, and not just them, but as a team, good defensively? We talk about Leon's back checks. Like him just like, honestly, I'm sorry. I don't see other players, other superstars doing that for the most part. There are some, and I know a lot of people, oh no, it's not just Leon. I get that. But I really think that's something that I am most pro for hiring Babcock is I think he's going to hold the players accountable for making mistakes. And hopefully that eventually takes the bad side of Connor and Leon, and not just those two. I'm just picking on them, but a lot of these players' games.
But that's the way this team goes, though, right? So with those two guys, you're the character of the team revolves around their two superstars, I think. And I always when I played, it was always frustrating when you'd see a guy, no matter who it was. Maybe there was a turnover, there was a lethargic back check, but then there was another turnover and they got the puck back and all of a sudden they're going Mach 2 again, right? So whoever the next coach is, and this is, you hear the phrase, we have to look in the mirror a little bit, right? And if you can look in the mirror and the person looking back at you is something that you like to see, then you should be doing it all right. But I do have issues with the play of the Oilers' two superstars. I think there's a level of commitment that they need to get to for the team to have success that you don't see. But there's also so much brilliance involved with what they do. They do the hardest thing that's possible in the NHL, and that's putting up points and scoring goals. That is the hardest thing to do, and they do it better than some of the greats that have worn Oilers jerseys, right? So it's sometimes ridiculous critiquing them because they're doing the hardest things. But I mean, anyone that's watched these last 4 games of the Stanley Cup final, I always said it, once hockey gets to that highly competitive, do anything to win, it reverts back to its simplest form. Like you have Jack Eichel, who is one of the most dynamic puck handlers and skaters on the planet, getting to the red line, dumping it in and going to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he knows that if he tries to stick handle between two guys and he turns it over, there's a good chance it's going back the other way in an odd man situation and giving up a scoring chance.
Yeah. And we've seen that happen a few times.
Too much.
Yeah, we have.
Way too much.
It'll be interesting to see. Max Bazuzu in the nasty chat. Other ethical coaches could provide structure and accountability too. And I got a few votes from Big Uke and Amishman as well. To that I say, well, right now you've got Bruce Cassidy, who if he was an option right now, I think that would be good. I don't think that's the case right now, and we are where we are, thanks to the Vegas Golden Knights. Pete Laviolette, obviously he was signed by the Kings, so that leaves who? Patrick Waugh. I don't know. His experience is not at the level as Babcock's. So really, for me, yeah, you might be right in that, but I think out of all the coaches available, it's crazy I'm saying it, but I think Babcock, in my opinion, is the best choice. I think he's the best coach. And you could argue he is a-hole of a person, but I still think... I don't think you can argue that.
Doesn't need to be a great guy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he has to be, it's... He doesn't have to be Tony Robbins every day.
Yes.
Right? But...
Love Tony Robbins.
I don't think you need to be a jerk to have accountability with your teammates either.
Yeah.
You're not doing it. So I got to go with, I can't tell you how many times a coach came into the dressing room and goes, I don't care. If I have to go down to 6 guys, I'll do it. But I need guys that are playing the right way. And when you're just playing poorly, that always got guys motivated or whatever. Right. But I don't understand why I guess maybe, let me ask you, why do you think coaches always revert to just overplaying Connor and Leon all the time?
I think it makes sense. It's the easiest thing to do. You got Connor and Leon, stack them up. Like John Cooper did it at the Olympics. And
yeah, he did it at the Olympics.
And I think it's just the easy thing to do. I really, really think that. But I think The fans maybe as well. Like, oh, put Connor and Leon. Like, I don't know if they listen to that, but I'm just saying that it always seems like that you might get the best results just because that's what maybe a trend has started. A coach did it, so this coach is going to do it, and that coach was smart, so I'm going to do it as well. But what if, and I said it when Leon was injured this year both times. That was the first time that this Oilers team looked like a team, and it was because they didn't have to rely on putting those guys together. Mm-hmm. They rolled line 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then back to 1, and then 2. And
you could argue that the team played its best hockey when one of them was out of the lineup. Yes.
Why do you think that is? It's right. And so I don't know, man. I'm very fascinated by that. It's gonna be very, very interesting. That is for sure. I had something. What was I gonna say there, Gager? Was it a nasty chat? It might have been a nasty chat. Whatever. It'll come back to me. But what would it be if Mike Babcock was your coach? What would that be like? Like, would you like that? Would you, knowing what you know?
I've never had him as a coach, so I wouldn't know. I'm assuming it would be probably pretty bad.
Yeah.
Right. Like it would be none of the. He wouldn't give you any praise if you played well, but if you played bad, it was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I've heard him say too.
Right.
Well, especially when he was in Toronto, he wasn't afraid of calling out players in the media too.
No.
Right. I think I remember him. He was the one player he always praised was Zach Hyman.
Yes.
And I think there was a time when he goes, I wanted to sit everyone on the bench and just tell them to go watch him these next 2 shifts and play like him and we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I said this also on the Nielsen show, but I think if you're in his good graces and if you're a player that is Zach Hyman-esque, he's going to absolutely love you. Right.
Yeah. And I remember my good friend that played with the Oilers, Dan Cleary, when he went to Detroit, talking about him. He does. There's a lot of routine with him. Like practices are all usually quite similar. There's a distinct structure to them, right?
Yeah.
I joked with, I think, Dusty yesterday. Like someone had said he's so great at X's and O's, but that's shouldn't that be required of every NHL coach at that level? Like they should be good at X's and O's at this point and be able to dissect things and have game plans to defeat defensive structures for other teams and get those implemented as quick as possible. That's just part of being a coach. The other part is the pushing the buttons at the right time. And I just don't think it's the big red button that he pushes all the time. And I just don't have time for it.
Yeah. Last pro here, experience in high pressure Canadian markets, which is meh. He worked for Detroit Red Wings, obviously, for quite some time, and then to Toronto. So that's take that however you want.
He's a maniac. He doesn't care what people say about
and that's
him,
the thing
right?
as well.
So,
but I could compare, I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, just the way they coach and their mannerisms and maybe a little bit more old fashioned. Mm-hmm. Babcock is, you could kind of compare, a similar approach to Tortorella, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a sense with, kind of just be that guy, like, oh, I'm Tortorella.
They like the spotlight. They say they don't, but they do.
Yeah. Daryl Sutter with his approach, old fashioned, right? I'm talking about old fashioned coaches.
Yeah. Yeah. Sutter was funny though in his pressers though. Right?
Sutter was funny.
He's had some gems. And
honestly,
what's his name? Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know. He played. How much did he play? 3 minutes. Yeah.
He's
on his own team
for Pelche, Jacob Pelche there. Yeah, that was crazy. But just lastly, I want to tell this story. Drew Doughty and I compare, and maybe if you disagree with me, that's okay. But I compare somewhat of their styles. Daryl Sutter and Mike Babcock. There's a little bit of a comparison there, but. Old-fashioned coach, and when Drew Doughty, he was on Spin Chicklets, and he was talking about this. He was like, I remember when we got It was news. Daryl Sutter is going to be the next coach. I'm like, oh gosh. And Daryl comes in the room, and he's, at the time, Doughty's top 3 defensemen in the league, right? And Daryl Sutter comes in. I think he said they were playing Boston or Chicago. So it was either, I imagine it was either Chara or Keith he was referring to. But Doughty didn't say who, but he's like, oh yeah, that player over there, he's by far. And he's looking at Doughty, he's like, he's by far the best defenseman.
Yeah.
And Doughty's just like, I can't, but there's stuff like that. And Doughty said, he's like, that pissed me off. Yeah. That really, really did. I hated that. I'm like, you're really going to come and tell me that an opposing player is better than me? And then he retired. Well, he's obviously still playing, but this was a few months ago, and he says, like, I see what he was doing. And now, like, in hindsight, I am like mad respect. He brought out the best in me. And I certainly hope that I think Babcock is smart enough to do stuff like that. And I think you could expect things like that. Like to McDavid, that Barkov, he's by far the best,
Well, yeah. I mean, that's what Connor did with Nobla with John Cooper, didn't he?
Yeah, he totally did that. Whoopsies. Are you kidding me? So those are the pros that I have, and I know a lot of people, that's okay. We're having a conversation here, and it's a good conversation. The cons are fairly obvious, and I see them in the nasty chat. Obviously,
one
of
the biggest con, I think, is you have to consult with the NHLPA, and now, by all accounts, the NHL is launching their investigation into this to see if it's okay. So they're going back into Columbus to see what was actually reported and stuff.
Yeah.
I forgot all about the whole thing in Columbus too, where Boone Jenner was saying, no, there's nothing to it. But then Biz went nuts and goes, I'm talking to people, and it's terrible. And so I think a lot of people forgot about that too.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
And so at first I'm like, okay, he's going through the phones, but before it was malicious. Now the old bugger thinks this is just a way to connect with people, but he was doing the same things.
It was weird.
And for good on Biz for sticking to his guns and doubling down on what he was saying, what was going on in Columbus. Cause I don't know, man. And if Biz doesn't do that,
well, where would we be right now?
Babcock probably coaches the Blue Jackets for at least a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, what if, I know these are hypotheticals, but what if you were in that position? Like if there's phones when you were playing and coach said, let me see your phone.
No.
Yeah. I'm going to suck it.
It would be weird though.
It would be. I'd be like, why?
Hey, I mean, it would be like, give me your wallet. Let me see you got pictures in there? I'm like, I'm not going to give you what?
Yeah. So
no, it's weird. It's a weird power move to make people do something that they don't want to do.
No.
When have you asked anyone for their phone?
Oh.
I ask my kids, but they don't even give it to me.
Screw you, Dad.
And I told you why. It's to find my phone.
Yeah. That's so good. Just on that news quickly, which is obviously the biggest con, he brings in some baggage. And as per Frank Saravelli earlier this morning, if #Oilers elect to continue down the path with Mike Babcock, sources say the NHLPA is in receipt of significant additional claims from their own investigation with players that were not publicly reported in 2023. Those claims were presented to the NHL prior to his resignation. Furthermore, sources indicate that asking players to see photos is not what ultimately resulted in Babcock's resignation. It was the subsequent unknown allegation reported below that cost Babcock his job in CBJ. Oh, what do you think it is? Should we speculate? Should we get this trending?
Yeah. Let's.
Nasties, what do you think it is, huh? I don't know, maybe not. But so that's obviously an issue, and like I get that. But then it just comes down to him being. I mean, I guess that was part of his job. He was a coach when he was doing that. But I just think I'll just keep saying this. He's an a-hole, but he's a good coach. He's a bad person, but he's a good coach. And maybe don't do that next time, Babs. But yeah, obviously the Toronto-Columbus baggage, which is what the Nasties are saying, their operational hurdle that they're currently going through right now, And you could argue he hasn't coached a game since 2019. And I think 2012 was his last playoff win as well. So there is that. I get it. And there's always going to be cons, but I'm just trying to be positive, trying to be Mr. Brightside. I'm usually very negative. And that's the thing. Like when this, and I'm just so like, I'm like if this was a year ago, maybe, yeah, if this was a year ago, 2 years ago, I'd be like, this is absurd. But I mean, I think Dusty or as Maddie laid it out on the hangout, you've got obviously Evander Kane. Again, good player, came with baggage, but he had good results here. Can a coach be different? I don't know. Time will tell. You've got the Jake Virtanen second chance. You've got obviously the big one, Bowman, which was pretty big news, national news. You got Corey Perry. So this isn't the first time that they've done something like this, which is why I'm just at this point, I'm like, checks out, man. It makes sense.
I mean, when they got Evander Kane, I was like, oof, do you really want to damage the dressing room like that? And by all accounts, he was model citizen, you know, in the room. Was just had turned over. He realized what had happened and was a good teammate. But even then, like he just can't get out of his own way. And rumors at the end of it was they couldn't handle him in the dressing room. And what happens when he goes to Vancouver? The exact same thing. Yeah. So. And you had the whole thing with him being injured all year and the communication. So yeah, that was, when you look back at it, it worked for a bit, but the re-signing of him never should have happened. Yeah. Right? Like he's a merc. He's a rental player at best. 1 year deals. Corey Perry, a little bit different. I don't know what happened. I think it was just a mistake on his part of whatever he was doing. But actually, they missed Corey Perry, I think.
I think so too.
His type of leadership, I think they missed. So, you know, you're 50% on these guys right now, but are you willing to do it one more time? Yeah. With one of the most important pieces? Like, if it's a player, he's not working out, you can throw him in the press box. It's tough to throw the head coach in the press box if they're doing something weird.
Yeah. Absolutely. In the inbox, JJ, why is he a good coach? Like 20 years ago with an all-star team, get your head out of your beep. And like I said, well, what about John Cooper? JJ, I question you that. He's a really good coach, and that was a dynasty team. Well, a modern day dynasty, you could argue, historically good, and they got swept by the Columbus Blue Jackets. So is he a bad coach? He's a good coach. That's how I
Is Babcock the best available though? Are you saying like?
See, that's the thing, man. Like I think I for the best plan of attack in win now mode, I think going for a guy that has won, albeit a long time ago, a little bit of a hole that brings a little bit of baggage, but the X's and O's is there. He's won before, triple gold. Who else is there? Like right now, I take that over a rookie coach. Right. And I take that over Patrick Waugh. Obviously Pete Laviolette, that would have been up there with my first choice. And same with Bruce Cassidy, but that's obviously not an option.
What's more important for a GM? What's more important for Stan Bowman over the next year? Is it to have success this year? Or I guess they kind of go hand in hand. Like, what is it, to win a Stanley Cup right now, or to make sure that McDavid ends his career as an Edmonton Oiler?
I think.
Or do they go hand in hand?
I think they go hand in hand, but like right now, it's just to win. It's to get McDavid that cup, to bring it home in Edmonton. And in my opinion, I think Babcock, he brings something to the Oilers that we have not seen. And it's funny how it's. We want a stern coach. We want someone that can.
Well, if that's the case, when you're in the room interviewing him, make sure your shoes are shined up because.
Oh yeah, I just saw
him berate Mark Masters of his shoes. It would be funny if you didn't know how he was with other people, right? Because you look at him and he's kind of angry.
Yeah,
and he made the camera guy look at these shoes. It's embarrassing.
Yeah,
this is the NHL.
Yeah, what are you doing?
He's a reporter. He's not in the NHL.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. So we got a few more minutes here on the Oil Stream presented by Boston Pizza, and we are in the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio. We can change gears here now because I'm just getting ripped. I don't know if you have the inbox open. I'm just getting ripped, but that's okay. To Brad and Victoria, sorry, just tuning in. Is Trev on board with Babcock? Yes, I listed off all my reasons. If you want, we can podcast. We are going to podcast this for you later, or you can just scroll back and hear the pros. Why I am all for Mike Babcock becoming the next coach of the Oilers. And JJ back. Are you seriously comparing scumbag to John Cooper? Seriously, holy hell, man!
Oh wow,
it's all good.
That's not ripping you.
That's not ripping. That's fine. But yeah, let's change gears here. Gager, Darnell Nurse. When I left for Toronto, right before I left, it was an article by Spec potentially leaving. What are your thoughts on that?
So, look, I don't like that it got out or it was leaked out or even Bowman said it. I think this is a discussion that you have between Darnell Nurse and his agent. You leave it at that.
Yeah.
I think it was another way. They already did this with the whole Cassidy thing. They leaked it to hopefully put pressure on the Knights for the league to do something. Right? I think it backfired. And because then you had to go and fire the coach you had already, and you were probably thinking, if not, it doesn't work out, at least we have somebody. And then now the full-blown panic seems to be setting in. But they already said they did it at the deadline, or that leaked. The other part that leaked was they wanted to bench him the last 2 games of the Cup final. Why did that need to come out?
Yeah.
And now you're leaking that I'm going to go talk to his agent and see if he'll move his. You're trying to make the players really uncomfortable to the point where he goes, I've had enough. And I would not blame Darnell Nurse for saying, you know what, I'm going to have to give you my 10-team list anyways. Here's my 10 teams that I'll give you. And again, get out of here, man. He's been a good soldier. Has he always wanted, he's always left you with wanting more. Yeah. He wanted that little bit more from Darnell Nurse, which you see at times, but and it's not so much the player. It's the price tag of the player.
It's always been the price tag.
It has, man.
It's kind of like, I wonder if he could go back. Like, obviously he's like, oh, I'm happy I signed that contract, life-changing money. But I wonder if he's like, man, like that kind of set me back. Like, you know what I mean? It would be interesting to ask him. Like, I still think you never would say, oh, yeah,
no, you're signing that right away. But
I mean, you just comparables and just immediately, like the players signing those numbers that summer. I think it was Werenski, Heiskanen, Makar, if I'm not mistaken, and Seth Jones, and then Darnell Nurse, right? Like,
was it McAvoy too in there?
McAvoy could have been. So yeah, like that's big money. It's interesting because Rashog was asked this morning on the Nielsen show, big minutes. Those are big minutes to fill. Obviously, what are your thoughts on getting a replacement for Darnell Nurse?
I think that I don't think it's as hard as you say to replace those minutes, because the types of minutes that you were looking for Darnell Nurse to play was just really solid defense.
Yeah.
You know, you weren't looking for
goals.
Yeah. You weren't looking for 50 points and 15 goals. And that's where I think it gets away from Darnell sometimes.
Yeah.
I think there's sometimes a point where he looks at himself as more of a offensive defenseman, or he needs to do that for the team to have success.
Yeah.
And when is the time that we've said Darnell's had a great game? I hate to say it, but sometimes we've barely noticed him, but that's because he's been so solid, like just simple hockey.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's interesting because I could see in the most Oilers fashion, and I would almost guarantee this as soon as, if he does, I think he will get traded at some point. I think the writing's on the wall, and I think he's starting to see that. I think he's a smart man. But I could just see wherever he goes, he would just flourish. He would just be so good. Like the pressure's gone, clean slate. And I think I really do. I think he could have a career year wherever he would go. I could already see it. The tweets, the Oilers, like he's unlocked, kind of like a Mitch Marner, I would
say more like a Podkolzin in a sense,
something like that, right?
Like just shedding the first rounder, the life-changing defenseman, and just going to a place, and especially in like an American market where no one knows who we are. Like I really think that's one thing that's helped Mitch Marner. Like, he's probably going down the strip and no one knows who Mitch Marner is, except for Canadians that are down there visiting.
Yeah, like the pressure, it's tough. Like even like Connor will talk about it. The best players, like it's not easy playing in a Canadian market. It doesn't take a genius to say that. I really could see that being the case, and I think he's just at the point where the pressure has come to him, where he has 2 shifts, and we've talked about this before. He'll be passing to Jake Wallman, whoever's on the other side, Embersim. He'll be passing to him, Murphy. He'll be passing back. He'll go for a skate, and he'll just skate like the wind off the ice, just like that. We talked about that. Just straight off. How many times
he gets the puck and you go, oh, look at this, look at Darnell.
What's he gonna do here?
And then nothing.
Just not even with the puck.
Where's he going?
Just off the ice he goes, and then as well he just dumps it in, man. Yeah. And that to me just screams a player that has zero confidence. And I don't blame him. The way management now is kind of treating him, the way the fans have kind of treated him. And, I'd say media has been pretty hard on him as well. But again, I think it's rightfully deserved. I don't know if that's the best way to say it, but he hasn't helped his case.
No.
So, interesting stuff. Okay, we've got a few minutes left. Time now for the numbers game, brought to you by Play Alberta. They don't just sponsor this show. They're the presenting sponsor of all of Edmonton Sports Talk. So, over-under from Play Alberta, Mike Babcock is named the next head coach of the Oilers in 2.5 days. How long do you think this is?
I don't think he's named.
Oh, so
I think I thought that the league, we'll give him another chance. But now that the PA said we want you to look into this more, the PA doesn't want him to be coach anymore.
Yeah.
Why would?
Fair enough, man. And how far does it go? Like if something else, like it could be like to a point where it would be interesting if it went to that. But I could see a case where they're like, nope. You know what? It's gone too far. Let's rewind.
No,
damn it. Back to square one.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Right. It's got Leon for the next 7 years.
Yeah. And we didn't get a touch on Connor apparently signing his next contract, 7 years. But we'll save that for another day. Coob, he has arrived. What do you got coming up on ESC Afternoons?
Well, it's a rainy afternoon. Do you guys hear that outside?
Oh, I thought that was like the AC that kicked in. That's the rain.
Yeah, no, it's completely battering our glass, but we got a heavy show to hammer home. Mike Babcock news, of course, will be the big story of the day here today. Hernan's Noticias, Game 4 recap of the Stanley Cup final. Of course, it's Wednesday, meaning we got Hernan's World as well, and we'll talk some World Cup with that kicking off tomorrow. Canada in action Friday, some injury news and notes around there, and we finally hit the Screw It, Let's Do It parlay. We got another rendition of that and some great conversation with the Nasties in the comments and in the River Cree inbox as well. Awesome. During the afternoon, 1 to 3.
You always tee up the show so well. When I'm listening, I'm like, I couldn't do that. So great job.
Thank you. You do a great job hosting. I look at you. I want to be just like you, Trev.
Oh, really?
I wish
Gager,
I could
did I do good?
like you.
Yeah, you did all right. It's funny hearing Zach because I listened to him on the way home when he's doing Reed's show, and I go, he is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, around the office, maybe not so much. I get locked in. And different story.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough.
I'll mute my mic.
Right on. Yes, this is another great show right here on the Oil Stream. Gager, thanks for having me.
Hey.
You're a great co-pilot.
Hey, you know what? We should fly a plane together someday.
We should.
We'll call it flying a plane.
Okay, that'd be good.
We'll be on late at night.
Yes, sounds good. Awesome. That wraps up today's show. Don't go anywhere. We got ESC Afternoons. Another great program coming up. Nasties, thanks for having me on board. This was great. Hope the flight was smooth. I'll take her easy. I'll talk to you tomorrow on The Nielsen Show. Peace.